You're not welcome to another video. You're welcome to stop being broke once and for all. Hi, money bestie. How are you doing financially? So my mission today is to help you save more money, because that is the first step to financial freedom. And I want to give you 10 money saving hacks that I use for myself that helped me save $10,000 francs to be exact. So the first 5 are a bit more like mental or psychological, if you will, and the other 5 are very practical that you can start doing today right after watching this video. Let's go. Number 1 is take full responsibility over your finances. Yes, the school system did not teach us about finances. Our parents probably also not if you're watching this video, and therefore we have to teach ourselves. And I came to understand that nobody's coming to save me. I have to do this myself. And I said, I am responsible for my finances. I am a grown-up, and therefore I can do whatever I want. And if I want to have better finances, I'm gonna do that. Very simple. But that is, I think, the most important thing to understand, because most broke people, that if you listen to them, you can hear out that they blame everyone else and they do not take responsibility, and they think that life happens to them and they're at the effect of life instead of creating their own life. And yes, I made a video about consuming and creating, which is somewhere here. And while we're at it, number 2 is stop listening to broke people. I've actually listened to broke people my entire life. I basically grew up like that. It's not broke, if you know what I mean. Like, there's always food and there's always, some adventures. But really learning to manage your money has not been taught to me. And so now I'm learning to manage my money from people that I see actually have money. They know how to invest, they know how to budget, they know how to earn more, all of these things. If you have people in your life and they're broke and they're giving you financial advice or what to do with your money or what job to get or things like that, just, I don't know, I stopped listening to them. And here I am, having saved $10,000. It's amazing. For the first time in my life. I'm 29. Slightly embarrassing, but let's go. It's never too late. Number 3 is wait 30 days before you purchase something. Consumerism is a trap. You can always buy more things, you can always buy better things, you can always buy more expensive things, and it's not going to get you anywhere, and it's also not going to make you happier. And therefore, if you just wait 30 days until you buy new shoes or a new hoodie or whatever it is, you might as well figure out that you don't need it. You have shoes and you have a hoodie. And so you don't need to buy another one. What I do to save money is sometimes I make things myself. Like, I have this new bag now, which is very cute, right? But it was a dress before, and so I just upcycled the dress because I never wore it, and now I have a new bag and it's really nice and it feels good to make things with your hands and create stuff. And yeah, that's really fun. Another way to save money, upcycle things and wait 30 days before you buy something new that you actually don't need. You don't need it. We don't need things. What we really need to be happy is people and experiences and financial freedom. Number 4 is ask yourself, this looks weird, ask yourself if you can buy it 5 times or not. So my second biggest financial mistake that I did was last year. I bought a motorcycle for 6,200 francs when I had 7,300 on my bank account. I was broke and I did not realize it. And so if you can, follow my advice and ask yourself if you can buy it 5 times. If you buy a shoe for $100, can you buy it 5 times and you still have enough left for food? That's the question. If you want to buy a new couch, can you buy it 5 times? Like, whatever you want to buy, can you buy it 5 times? For me, that's been honestly a game changer, because as long as I have not reached my financial goal, I'm not gonna buy it, Priorities, shoes or financial freedom? That's the question. Number 5, check your bank account daily. And by daily, I mean every day. I started doing that like maybe a year ago or 2. And if you check your bank account daily, you're aware of your finances. There's a thing called the ostrich effect, and they did a study about people who are investing, and they studied how often they would check their finances if the market was going well, and how often they would check it when the market went down. And they figured out people would check much more often when it's going well, and they would stop watching when the market went down. And it's called the ostrich effect, because ostriches they put their head in the sand, and that's the analogy for us avoiding negative news because of the emotional discomfort that it brings. And so for me, even though I'm broke and I don't have much money, I still check my bank account, because if we avoid looking at it, we can't fix it. And the easiest way to get your finances together and to stop being broke is checking your bank account daily. Try it out, see what happens. The number 6 goes very well to that, and that is tracking every dollar you spend. So sometimes I do that for a month, and then I stop doing it, and then I do it again if I want to know what I spent my money on. And it's so helpful. Like, you become aware of how much money you spend. Maybe it helps you avoid spending money if it's not necessary, because you have to write it down. And so you can carry a notebook, or you can just put it in your notes app. That's what I did. Even when I just spent $1 or $2, I would still write it down, and for what. And so at the end of the month, first off, you know exactly what you spend for what, how much on food, how much on clothes, how much on whatever. And the other thing is, you can realize where it wasn't really necessary and where you can save more money next month or next week. So that I highly recommend. Number seven, delete subscriptions that you don't need. I heard this from someone on the internet like 1 or 2 years ago, and that was, if you're broke, why are you watching TV? And that has just been to me, like, it's true. It's true. I don't have a TV. I don't watch Netflix or Disney Plus. I did have both of those before, and a couple months ago I decided, Mary, as long as you're broke, you're not watching TV. You're not watching movies. It's just, first off, I think it can make you addicted. So every evening at like 8, you're like trying to find a movie so that you can go to bed in time. And like, I don't know, it's just this cycle of like avoiding your own thoughts and your own life and the 9 to 5 and, you know, kind of, I mean, of course it's nice to watch a movie. I'm not judging anyone for that, but I, for myself, just think if I'm broke, I'm not watching a movie. And it does help. It gives you space and time to think about what you want to get out of life, and also how you can maybe make more money, how you can do your job better, just improve your life altogether. If we stop consuming, less consuming, more creating. Wise words. Number 8, set a savings goal. That, I think, is super important, because if we don't have a savings goal, we're not gonna save. I think we're so used to just spending our money and like having a good life instead of building our future. Setting a savings goal has helped me to become aware of my finances, to budget, to, you know, it's also very exciting to have a savings goal. I mean, it's something to work towards and you get motivated. Only benefits of having a savings goal. Maybe I can inspire you to save 10,000, because I have just reached that. It's amazing. It feels good. It gives me a little bit of freedom and the opportunity to, you know, maybe leave my job if I want to, because I have savings set aside. And as an inspiration for your savings goal, you can take your fixed expenses that you have and then multiply them by 6 or 9 or 12, and then you can use one of these numbers as your savings goal, and then you have 6 or 9 or 12 months fixed expenses set aside. And so if you get fired or if you want to quit your job, you can do that, and it's not a problem, and you don't need to worry. You don't need to freak out about it, you know, and that just kind of chills you a bit. More chill life. Yeah. Okay, number 9. I have realized from what I hear from DMs and messages that I get on Instagram. By the way, money besties are blowing up on Instagram, which is... Anyways, I've seen that lots of people spend lots of money on groceries, and I have basically hacked that. I spend less than $150 per month on groceries. So you might say, yeah, but you don't have kids, blah, blah, blah. okay, I understand the number is going to be different, that's obvious, but like you can still save money. It doesn't matter for how many people you have to go shopping, right? Anyways, this is how I go grocery shopping. I use a list. So I write down what I need for the week and I buy only the things that are on the list, and I don't buy anything that I just see and want in the moment. I just use the list to go shopping. And number 2 is I only go grocery shopping once a week on a Saturday morning with all the grandmas. But going once a week actually makes you aware of how much money you spend on groceries per week. It's good to know, I think, really good to know. Number 3 is you can actually just change to a cheaper store. I, for example, only go to Aldi. I live in Switzerland. I don't go to Migros or you know, the more elevated supermarkets unless they have things that I need, and Aldi doesn't have that. That's possible. And number 4 is I do not buy canned drinks. I do not buy sweets or snacks or alcohol. I stopped buying alcohol because the next day for me it's just not that good of a day, and therefore I kind of stopped drinking alcohol recently. Not very intentionally, just I don't want to feel like shit the next day. And number 10, and this is probably not that easy for lots of people, which I understand, but I think it's very important to at least think about it, and that is to decrease your rent. I think that rent is probably one of the highest expenses that people have. And for me, when I moved here into this apartment, it's relatively cheap for the location where it is, but it's still $1,000 a month. And when I moved in, I came to Switzerland with a backpack, so I didn't have much stuff. And I realized, okay, I have 2 rooms and both of them have a door. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna rent out this other room that I don't need, and I can charge half the rent for that plus 10% for the furniture that I put into the room that the person that rents the room can use. And now I pay a little less than half the rent, and it's mind-blowing to me how single people who are living alone have 3-4 rooms and spend $1,500 $2,000 just on rent for comfort reasons. And for me, my comfort is not as important as my financial freedom, and so I'm super happy to sacrifice living alone so I can save more money. I can tell you what I do and how it helps me, and so I think moving places or moving to a cheaper place for a limited period of time, like this is not going to be forever. But I think if it's a limited time period, it's not even that big of a sacrifice. And it also really depends on who you live together with. And so right now I have a roomie who is super chill and amazing, and it's barely even a sacrifice, if you know what I mean. Like you can just get really lucky, and if you're the person renting the apartment and you have a free room, you can choose the person that you want to live with, you know, like it's in your control. So maybe decreasing rent is something you want to think about, or maybe not. By the way, I have 10 more money saving hacks in a freebie. I made this super cool freebie that I mentioned in another video, and I already have over 200 people who downloaded the freebie because apparently we're all fucking broke and we all need to save money. If you want to honestly change your finances this year and stop being broke, download the freebie. It's pretty cool. I really just hope it helps you. Yeah, have a lovely day, stop being broke, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Anyways, this is how I go. And